Hmm, what's this? Chris Como, Don Lemon, discusses border photo of dead man and daughter. But I thought YouTube didn't allow these kinds of images. Oh, that's right. Corporate media, they get to be exempt, because they're corporate. Independent journalists like myself or anybody else, we don't get to have that privilege. Apparently, we can't be trusted the way corporate media can be trusted. But frankly, that's another story. Let's check out what old Chris and Don are lamenting about today.
Okay, sorry. Sorry. That picture. I can't even look at it.
You must.
I can't even look at it, Chris.
Oh,
Every
you
time
must.
it comes up, I have to look away. I can't. I'm not being dramatic. It's just
Dramatic. Of course it kills you. It kills every part of us that makes us human. This issue, not since what I saw during the war that was being ignored here at home, has something ripped at me, made me feel like I'm not doing the job right.
When I first saw it, I said, please tell me this is not real. This is not real. And then the alert came out from CNN, and it's real. I cannot believe you asked the same question that I asked, that I've been asking people all night. Who are we? Who are we as a people to sit and judge people who are trying to come across for better lives and better conditions, and to cast most of them or all of them in a light that they're trying to get something free or that they're breaking the law? Sure, there are people who come over illegally. Sure, there are people who come over who have untoward intentions. But for the most part, people are coming over and risking their lives because they want to have a better life. They want to have what America offers. What
America has to offer? What America has to offer. Tell you what, let's take a closer look at what America has to offer.
Making headlines. The struggle. All that's all around. The suffering.
It's quite distressing.
And the solution.
Finding ways to move those who are in shelter to permanent housing.
The stories from those who've hit hard times.
It's extraordinarily hard. I was constantly stressing about where I was going to sleep, how I was going to eat.
17 years working, helping people, old folks, and then I was like, because I got hurt.
So how do we help the city's most vulnerable?
We try to address the root causes of homelessness and then help them get on with their lives.
Tonight, a Fox 5 special. Homeless in New York. Crisis on the streets.
In Derry, we have all been seeing more and more homeless people on the streets. It alarms New Yorkers and tugs at many hearts. Mayor de Blasio at first denied there was a problem. Now he's offering some solutions, but his approach has ignited a war of words with one of his most outspoken predecessors.
I think he's delusional. If you think about what Rudy Giuliani did as mayor, homelessness went up about 40%.
Here's how ignorant Mayor de Blasio is.
Wow.
He said that there were 40% more homeless people during my administration.
Right.
The Times corrected it and said 32%. But you know what the 32% is? There were 32% more people in shelters. People who are in shelters, I would like to inform the mayor, are not homeless.
I really could have picked homeless footage from anywhere in America. It didn't necessarily have to be New York City, because homelessness in America is a rampant, explosive crisis. So why did I pick New York City? Well, Don and Chris's CNN office is based there in New York City. I couldn't help but take notice. During the pipe bomb midterms, I think it was, CNN was sent some pipe bombs, and they had to evacuate, and so they had to spend some time outside of their office anchoring on remote locations outside their office. I believe Don Lemon and his little buddy, Shimon Prokipez. Yes, I believe they did a little segment there. As Don, Chris, Anderson, Aaron Brunette, and the whole fucking bunch. Okay? As they all exit and egress. You know, come and go. Enter and egress. From their office. Am I truly supposed to believe that they don't see any of the homeless there in New York? Well, the homeless aren't out there in front of their offices? If they're not, maybe we should be. Sounds like a protest to me. Or do you use your corporate hired security muscle to push the fucking blight out of camera frame, huh? Is that what the fuck you do? Because after all, they're not really the story at the moment. Oh, I see. So, believe it or not, what got today's outrage started wasn't necessarily the dead immigrants face down in the river. It was something else in connection with it. Let's take a quick look. What's this? Emergency funding. The House passes $4.5 billion. Emergency border age package. For thousands of immigrant families and unaccompanied children detained after crossing the border. Well, now, if that don't beat all. Almost $5 fucking billion. Just like that. $5 fucking billion. I believe a few days ago, had one of my subscribers ask me, "Hey, Total Control, what's going on with the housing?" I mean, I'm still hearing the, "Oh, what's going on?" Good question. You wanted the update? Well, here it is. Like I said, apparently the entire application process has ground to a complete halt at the county building. Make of that what you will. Okay, the security deposit and first month's rent comes to roughly $1,000. Excuse me, $2,000. Roughly $2,000. The way things stand right now, my homelessness could be ground to a screeching halt for a mere $2,000. That's it. But apparently, I guess that's too much to ask. The county has simply gone dark. The personnel down there, and I get it, I am not the only person. And as my own argument highlights, that the homelessness situation is rampant and explosive and has run unchecked. So I want to be as fair as I can to the staff at the county building. But that said, $5 fucking billion allocated like that. And for the past couple of months, I've been keeping you guys informed. I've been trying to scrape this $2,000 together at the county building. Emails unanswered. Phone calls unreturned. And that is my social worker trying. It's not me, it's social worker. All the paperwork's been submitted. Every last thing they ever asked of me, it's been submitted. Everything. But I guess $2,000 is just too much to ask, because the way things look right now, it doesn't look like I'm going to be leaving this tent anytime soon. Maybe this is my permanent address. I want to play a part of that New York City homeless bit for you one more time, and there's a specific reason.
And the solution.
Finding ways to move those who are in shelter to permanent housing.
Stories from those who hit hard times.
It's extraordinarily hard. I was constantly stressing about where I was going to sleep, how I was going to eat.
17 years working
Hard.
To permanent housing.
Stories from those who hit hard times.
It's extraordinarily hard. I was constantly stressing about where I was going to sleep, how I was going to eat.
Constantly stressing about where she was going to sleep and where she was going to eat. That's what the young lady was saying. I don't know if you could hear or not. I had the volume up as loud as I could get it. I really wanted to play that part for you and emphasize that for you. You see, Chris Como and Don Lemon and Anderson Cooper and everybody else that is lamenting endlessly about the conditions that the illegal aliens are living in. I want to make it known to you the dangerous situation that we homeless live in. You see, I understand that journalists will get death threats and dangerous devices mailed to them in the mail. So I acknowledge the inherent dangers that come with being a journalist. But it seems to me that they're completely glossing over the inherent dangers that come along with the American homeless. About a week or so ago, when I returned to my camp, I found this 10-inch vertical slash in my tent. I've done my best to secure it with Gorilla Tape. The longer it's on, the more the bond takes hold. That's why I'm not going to peel it off for you. But it's about a 10-inch slash. You see, CNN's anchors are all multimillionaires. I'm sure they have lovely homes with heavily fortified security. But this nylon, this is the only thing that protects me. and this. You see, Chris Como and Don Lemon and John Berman and all the rest, they can all lament and wax poetic about how outraged they are about the immigrant crisis. Here, in the homeless community, we face very, very fucking real dangers. The proximity of that slash was very strange. 10 inches isn't large enough for a person to enter. They put the slash on the inside of the flap of the zipper, almost as if exercising a type of due care, kind of like how forensic investigators can tell that whomever murdered the person knew them, had a connection with them when the bodies are wrapped in blankets. They felt the compulsion to wrap them, to do a type of final care and respect for their body. Now, I don't want to read too deep into it. I don't think children did it. And I don't think another homeless person did it. It's almost as if somebody was trying to send a message. I know where you are, and I can get to you whenever I want to. Well, thank God the immigrants have $5 billion to protect them. I guess I'll have to keep making do with my machete, right? And of course, corporate media like CNN and other outlets are always so quick to sensationalize when violence breaks out at homeless camps. Oh, they're at it again, fighting over their booze and drugs. Like I told you, with the homeless guy, Florida, no arms. He was the one that got arrested. Okay? Not the middle-class millennial. I did call the police, and I filed a police report, letting them know exactly what happened. It's important to have that report on file should I be forced to use lethal force against a person trying to hurt me in my camp. I want it documented that I'm not just some drug addict. It wasn't just simply getting into it or any other cliche stereotype that so many are so quick to reach for as a means of justification, because I fully get it. The American homelessness crisis, it's not a sexy kind of topic, like our dead immigrants laying face down in a stream. Nobody cares about the dead homeless in their tents. Now do they? Our CNN anchors don't have to worry about this. This is a very real problem that we homeless have to contend with every single day. I'm not going to put a halo over my fellow homeless head. There's a very real reason why I don't participate in organized homeless encampments. I don't want to be a part of them, and for very real reasons. I just simply want you to understand that it's not just simply the homeless out there that we have to fear. There are many different types of people, including the police. There are a lot of people on my suspect list as to who could have done it. Alright, guys, so, hey, congratulations for our immigrants, you know. They've got Nancy on their side, you know. Nancy Pelosi. We have to help them. They're struggling. Horrible countries they need to flee from. They got to, I don't know, Nancy, why don't you, here, hold it to your face, huh? Huh? Obviously, you need to be woke the fuck up. While you're allocating billions for illegal aliens. The American citizens who slaved decades paying taxes. That gives you the money to give to them. We're the ones suffering. What time have I got here? 21. Humidity's up. Tell you what, see if I can end on a little anecdote, something that isn't too heavy. I want to drive home the importance of this financing, and I get it. Immigrants will often say, they'll chime in the comments section, you know, we pay taxes too, we this, we that. I'm not disagreeing with that. I am not disagreeing with the fact that you pay taxes. What I am upset over is that your demographic is the only one that seems to get this kind of action, while people like me are left to just simply die and take our chances with whatever the fuck comes our way, huh? Whatever the fuck comes our way. You know, I was talking about my aunt, preacher woman, the other day. So I was visiting her one day at her house. Okay. And I think I had I was licensed to drive then. And I had asked to borrow her car. I completely forgot what it was that I needed to do. And she told me no, flat out no. Just, there wasn't even any thinking about it, no. And then I forget if it was later that day or if it was another day, but my Aunt Verdell comes along. She asked to use the car. My Aunt Verdell doesn't have a driver's license. Never had one. Now, my Aunt Raleigh, the preacher woman, she had difficulty keeping the insurance up on the car, and sometimes the insurance would get behind or the car note, etc., things like that. So I don't think there was any insurance on the car. The insurance, I think, had lapsed at this particular moment when Aunt Verdell came by to ask to use the car, and my aunt let her use it. So I decided to call her on that. I say, Aunt Raleigh, how come you let Aunt Verdell use it? She doesn't even have a driver's license. I got a valid driver's license. And she put it to me plain and simple in her southern preacher woman way. Baby, Verdell got money, honey. Verdell got money. And, well, I thought about it. You're right, she does. I mean, who was I? I may have had a legal driver's license, but I'm just some guy working whatever latest 505 minimum wage job I had at the time. If anything had happened on the road, whether it was my fault or not, there would be no fucking way in hell that I would be able to pay for any damages to my aunt's car or to any other vehicles involved. So, there you go. And many years later, time have I got? Many years later, the tables would kind of turn, no longer involving any of my aunts. Had a buddy. Yes, it's another one of those buddy stories. Buddy splitting the apartment. Got a 2-bedroom apartment. Splitting it. And, you know, we're doing pretty good there, you know. And, well, now, I had recently come out as gay. And his family that also lived in the apartment complex, they catch wind. I'm gay. Staying together. Okay. So, I believe it was his brother? I think it was his brother. His brother goes to give him shit over the fact that I had my own key to my roommate buddy's car. And he said something to the effect of, I believe he said, "Man, every time I turn around, that yellow motherfucker's out there driving your car. What's up with that?" So they were trying to give it some kind of a, do I want to say a sexual twist to it or something? If I'm not mistaken, didn't they have like this is like 99, 98, they had a song, was it Who Got the Keys to My Baby's Jeep or some shit like that? Along those lines is how it was put to my roommate buddy. Now, this kind of chipped away at my roommate buddy, and why did I have keys to his car? Well, let's take a closer look at this yellow motherfucker, shall we? When the car's tires were balding, I think it was a 96 Grand Am at the time. When the car's tires were balding, you know, who spent $800 putting on brand new BF Goodrich tires all the way around? The yellow motherfucker. And because my roommate buddy was also attending college and stuff like that, gets behind on the car note or the insurance because he had to pay college tuition and stuff like that. Who was there to step in to keep the car street legal and paid for? The yellow motherfucker. I see. And every Friday night, when I would go and pick up my paycheck and run my errands, and when I would bring the car back, who was it that brought the vehicle back on a full tank of premium gas? The yellow motherfucker. I see. Now, in case you're following along here, make it plain to you. When you pay, you get a say. And when you don't, you shut the fuck up and you're grateful for the table scraps that you're given. Okay? Nancy Pelosi put together almost $5 billion for these immigrants who haven't paid a dime, at least not yet. When this yellow motherfucker is stuck in this tent while your rich government ass allocates $5 fucking billion, and I guess I'm supposed to just be a good sport about it, huh? When you pay, you get a say, and if you don't, you shut the fuck up. Total Control 871.